What is going on, everybody? My name's Harry.
My name's Jack.
Now stop.
What is going on, everyone? My name's Jack.
My name's Harry.
We are Jac and Harri. Welcome back to our YouTube channel.
Today we've got a very special episode and the first of what we hope to be a really productive series for you guys. We're going to be listening to your demos, and the winning demo of this episode is going to get a 30-minute Skype call with me and Jack to talk about all things music. You can ask us anything from production tips to how we got signed to Rewheel to what we do in our personal lives, you name it.
Whatever you want to talk about, we'll discuss with you. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe below. But without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so the first demo is from November and it's called Being With You. Let's check it out.
And we both have been hurt before, but I think we're meant to know what happens next if we lose control. And I wanna trust you, so you can trust me too. 'Cause I dream about being with you. 'Cause I dream about being with you.
So, pretty cool record to start out with. You know, we love progressive, so you've clearly read the room pretty well, November. Yeah, I've got a few comments, but I generally thought the idea was nice. I feel like the production could be a little sharper in some aspects. Generally, from a melody standpoint, I thought it was interesting, but I really think one thing which could help bring the track to life is if you kept the melody evolving. From my perspective, after about 10-15 seconds of hearing the melody, I wanted more. You know, I wanted it to grow. I wanted the melody to grow with the song. And yeah, if you could just try and develop your melodies, we always try and make sure that the melody is constantly evolving throughout the 30 seconds of the drop. I really think that could bring the song some new life.
Yeah, I agree. I think the drop mix, like the low end, was really good.
Yeah, agreed.
Like I feel like the kick and the bass were like pumping, and on the speakers here, I could hear them quite clearly. I don't think you needed the vocal in the drop.
Agreed.
Because I felt like it was kind of buried in the mix. I think just take out the vocal. But I think my favorite part of the track was when the build-up was coming into the break, and it was kind of like that arp was growing, and it was kind of trancey.
Yeah, trancey.
Like, yeah, trancey. But yeah, I thought it was really cool. Overall, though, pretty good start. Let's move on to the next demo. Okay, so the next demo is from Rewheel, and it's an ID. It doesn't got a title yet.
Let's check it out.
Okay, so I like the vibe of the drop. I think it's quite, I can see what you're trying to do is quite euphoric.
Yeah.
Like I can see the vibe you're going for. I think the synths need more layers. I felt like the lead sounds were quite low in volume and not as present.
They got buried.
Yeah.
They didn't shine through the mix as much as I'd like. You know, it wasn't. You lost that brightness and that energy, didn't you?
Yeah. I think the kick and bass, the bass needed a little bit more side chain. At the moment, it was kind of like a little bit flat. I feel like it needed a bit more energy to it. And I think in the breaks, you probably need a vocal. But I imagine you probably know that anyway. It's very difficult to get vocals when you're first starting out, but you know, keep going and eventually they will come. That's what I think. Harry, what do you think?
I mean, I think building on from what Jack was talking about, there was one song in particular which I thought you could really model it off, and it would be Poison by Martin Garrix. I really think what you notice with Poison is the synths hit really hard and then it stops and, that snare comes out and then the next synths come in. I feel like if you could try and look at that song, maybe understand what I'm getting at in terms of the stop-starting nature of the melody and then the percussion coming in. At the moment, I feel as if you've lost a bit of power with the synths because everything's quite wide and quite wet.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, because you've kind of got that dun, 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 and then it's a snare, isn't it? Yeah. And that snare should just be on its own.
The synths will hit harder if you leave those gaps in the melody as well. But we touched on this in one of our last videos about the importance of having gaps and spaces in your melodies.
Yeah.
If you haven't already, check that video out. Shameless plug. This song in particular would really benefit if you just focused on perhaps the note lengths and the arrangement of the drop. But yeah, it's a cool idea. Thanks again for sending. So this demo is by Steven and Johan Jose.
Sorry about that.
Let's try that again. This demo is by Steven and Joan Jose. It's called Confusion, and let's see what it sounds like.
Why they wanna move like that? When you play home. When you play home.
This is groovy. Yeah, I definitely, I can definitely see what you're trying to do with this one. I think the kick, the bass, the drums work really well. My only criticism would be that the sound in the drop is it's very harsh for your ears. It sounds like around that sort of 5,000 hertz range. It would be painful to listen to for quite a long time.
Yeah.
So maybe just work on the EQing of that frequency a little bit more. But no, I think it's quite cool. I like the vocal and the break. What do you think?
I think the idea is really, really cool. In terms of the mix and the drop, I feel like it could be a little bit tighter. I feel like with these songs, the elements come across as really, really aggressive, like really, really compressed in your face. You almost want the kick to be slapping you in the face, but you know, and some of the drum elements didn't quite punch through like I'd want them to, like some of the Stamp releases do. Like if you've listened to any of Julian Jordan's stuff or Seth Hill's stuff, the percussion is so tight. It's so tight. And if you with this type of track, that's what you're competing with. So yeah, I'd say the idea-wise, really, really cool. Very, very current.
Yeah, definitely.
Just like a little bit of working on the percussion to make it really crispy and in your face. But generally, really good job, guys. Yeah, thanks for sending. Let's move on to demo number 4.
So demo number 4 is from Chris Like and Diego Silva and J Light.
I don't wanna see you and all your friends wish that you would leave, so I can't pretend that I don't miss you, baby. Know that I've been lately, I don't wanna face it. Oh, I know, you know, I want you all alone, but then I don't, 'cause I got no control, emotional, so you should let me go, let me go. If you could just walk away, yeah, I wouldn't even have to say it, 'cause right now I just need some space, yeah, so just walk away, just walk away. Staring at the floor, I don't wanna feel the way I did before, 'cause you make me feel like there's a hurricane up in my chest. I guess it's best I found shelter, and maybe I'll feel better, yeah. Oh, I know, you know, I want you all alone, but then I don't, 'cause I got no control, emotional, so you should let me go, let me go.
Really nice vocal.
Yeah, that was my first instinct. I thought the vocal was really, really strong, and the general vibe in the break was really, really nice.
Really nice.
For me, I feel like the break is currently a bit more developed than the drop in terms of
Yeah, I would agree.
just like production quality. The kick seemed a bit buried. The bass was a little bit too loud, and then the lead sounds weren't loud enough. It's just a case of like recalibrating those like 3 things.
Yeah, I think if you monoed your demo here, you'll notice that the kick won't be as loud and the bass will just overpower it, like Harry just said. I think the kick needs to be punchier and maybe a different kick sample.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah,
Something
more
which
punchy.
A good way of doing it is if you turn down the volume on your laptop to the 1 decibel. If you can hear the kick, then that's generally a good sign that the kick is punchy. The kick and bass needs a little bit of work, and I think the lead sounds maybe try some different layers, maybe some organic elements, because the breaks are like really feelsy and you've got this vibe, and then I think the drop leads are a little bit synthy.
Yeah, I think that's fair, yeah. And by organic, guys, we mean pianos, strings, instruments which you would find in an orchestra, you know, those kind of real sounding instruments. Although we are making dance music and naturally it's all electronic, there are some really cool ways of getting some real sounding instruments. And like there's nothing that you can replicate in a synth quite like those real sounding instruments.
No.
But yeah, guys, that's a really good one. Up there so far, I'd suggest.
Definitely
We're one of the better ones.
And lately I ain't thinking straight. Your body's amazing.
This one is by DJ Calvin and Synthesize. Apologies if I've butchered your names, but this is called Timeless Smile. So yeah, our first reaction to that one was a lot of potential in it. From my perspective, the break, that first initial vocal sample which comes in, it instantly catches the listener's attention and really draws you into it. So I think there's a lot of good with this. I feel like the drop needs to be a bit stronger for the actual track to reach its potential. The idea of it's good, but the bass was a little bit too loud, and similar to some of the other comments, the kick doesn't quite punch through enough. Do you agree, Jack?
Yeah, I would agree. I love those strings in the break. Like strings are my weakness. I love those strings. They sound great. I think the drop has a lot of potential. Actually, I feel like it's kind of like that Mike Williams, Brooks style. Yeah. And I think the melody's super catchy. If you can just work on the production a bit more, I feel like it could be really good. You know, have a look at the way Brooks does his bass sounds and lead sounds, and maybe draw influence from that. But yeah, really good idea. The
idea is really good though, guys. Really impressed with that one. So yeah, contender.
Let's move on to the next demo.
So we're getting some really good demos, guys. Thanks a lot. Make sure to keep an eye out on our social media, because we're going to be running this a lot more often. And make sure, if you haven't already, to hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to us. We're trying hard with these YouTube videos, so we really hope you're enjoying them. But let's get on to the next demo.
Okay, so the next demo is from Vanished, and it is called Into the Light.
Wow, guys. That is a good demo. Vanish, yeah. Really good job. I haven't actually got too many comments on it. It's right up our street in terms of the kind of music that we make, as well as love. So the critique of this one is going to be really specific. It's a really good demo, but there was one part for me, I think it was around the 125 mark, where the swells of the pads like come in, and I'm not sure if it's probably like a Nexus or like a string swell, and they come in and they get really muddy, and it kind of takes away from the lift off of the song.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, you've got these like lovely glittering elements, and like the feels are there, and like the pad, as those strings come in, I feel like they could probably just be low cut, but it's a really small detail to correct, because I think that's a really good demo, one of the better ones we've been sent. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it was, the drop in particular was really good. Mixed well, kick punches, the leads are nice and clean. My only thing would be that you would need a vocal for it, and potentially you could shorten the break, maybe 15 seconds.
Yeah, especially for the radio edit or the Spotify edit, you know, I think.
Yeah.
our songs are getting smaller and smaller, or shorter and shorter. Sorry. Our attention span is generally getting shorter. People don't want to listen to 4-5 minute songs anymore.
People don't want to wait. People want you to hit them with a drop straight away. But yeah, generally very, very good.
Yeah, bravo. So this one is by a guy called Fabrizi, and it is called Like No One.
I can give you the kind of love you'll never forget. Let's make it work together and leave the past behind. So take my hand and follow me, 'cause I can make you feel alive like no one did before, 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 like no one did before.
Okay, so I think the drop is actually the best part of this song. I think the breaks need a little bit more work. The vocal does get a little bit repetitive.
Yeah, especially as the fact is throughout the drop.
Yeah. But I really like the kick snare kind of drop you've done. It reminds me kind of like arty sort of style. I would watch the high. I don't know if it's just because it's on SoundCloud, but I would watch the high frequencies in the drop. There does seem to be a little bit too much going on at up the high end, but
it's easily fixable though.
I think,
it is. As I've talked about in the past, generally this is a good example of a melody which keeps you interested throughout the drop. It's constantly evolving throughout the 30 seconds. And I'm not saying your melody has to change completely over the course of the drop. It doesn't have to completely differ, but there are opportunities for every 4 bars to change the little fills into the main part of the melody. But yeah, cool idea. Maybe some atmosphere work, 1 or 2 more elements to make the breaks a little more interesting. But yeah, generally a solid demo. Yeah, thanks for sending.
Okay, so the next demo is from RX and HHMR. Sorry if I said that wrong. And this is Eternity.
Can I be your star tonight? You fill my soul with light the day we met. I don't wanna leave your side, no. Have me by your side when the sun sets. I hope you'll still want me, I hope you'll still need me 1,000,000 years from now. The seasons are changing, the nights ever fading. It's time we left the ground. Let's leave for an eternity. Sail across the lights beyond the sky. I'll be with you eternally. Guided for your love that keeps me high, keeps me high.
What do you think?
I think, to be fair, I think it's a really cool idea. The drop is a little bit more developed than the breaks in terms of the production. The vocal is pretty good. Like I'm quite pleased with the way that the vocal sounds and the way that the vocal's processed. The drop reminds me a little bit of Mance, a fellow Revealed artist, and that is a good thing, but it could also be a little bit of a bad thing. I feel like the sound that you've used for the leads is a little bit dated. It works really well, but a lot of producers are using this at the moment.
Yeah, I would agree. I think I love these sort of progressive demos, but unfortunately times have changed, haven't they?
They have changed, yeah.
We're moving on now from 2013, 2014, so I still think you can use these sort of sounds, but you need to just kind of use them in your own way and evolve that way. I think the breaks need a little bit of work. I think that organ piano sound needs to change potentially.
I feel like you need something stronger.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
Don't process it and don't EQ it as harshly as it is. Allow it to breathe at the bottom end. It's quite a minimal track in the breaks, isn't it? So don't be scared to just like let it shine in that part. It doesn't need to be.
Yeah. And also I really like those guitar sounds. I just think they sound a little bit thin in the mix. So maybe you can use like CLA guitars from Waves or like Guitar Rig or something to try and spice them up a bit.
It's a really good tip. Guitar Rig is a great plugin for thickening out those guitars. So yeah. But anyway, thanks for sending. Really cool idea. But without further ado, this is the last demo that we'll be doing today, and it is by Diagex, and it is Waiting for Tonight. Yeah, this is an interesting one. I feel like the drop, it kind of surprised me a little bit. I expected it to be the classic kind of progressive sound, but you came out with the harder synths and kept things interesting.
Yeah.
And the actual melody is catchy, still in my head. I like the bass notes. So the idea's there. I do feel like the breaks lacked a bit of energy. I'm not sure if they're a bit long, perhaps.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I think for the first, I think it was 15 or 30 seconds until the kick came in, I was kind of, excuse the pun, but waiting for more, for a little bit more energy. So yeah, potentially shorten the breaks or maybe add in some percussion or something.
Yeah, just to keep things a bit more interesting and drive the energy of the song on a bit. As Jack said, excuse the pun, I felt like I was waiting for the energy to get going a little bit. But yeah, generally like a cool idea, and with some tweaks, I think it could be a pretty cool idea.
Yeah, because you've got the drop, which is like full of energy.
Yeah.
And then the breaks are quite chill. So I think maybe you need to like bridge the gap a little bit more.
For a progressive song as well, the one thing I like about it is it's quite danceable. Most progressive songs, including ours, are 4 to the floor, designed for big festival, Tomorrowland after movies kind of vibe. This one, you can still dance to it, you can still play it in the car. So yeah, cool, really cool demo. Thanks for sending.
Okay guys, so we have picked a winner. Firstly, thank you all very much for sending in your demos. We were inundated with emails, we weren't expecting that many at all. Like Harry said, if we didn't check it this time, we are going to be doing more.
Yeah, we are going to be doing more. Keep an eye on us on Instagram. I'll pop our URL right there for you so you can see it. Basically, we're going to be doing a lot more YouTube videos in general, but this is a mini series which we think has a lot of value for you guys, and that's shown with the amount of demos that you've sent through. But anyway guys, the thing which you all want to know, the winner.
So, the winner of episode 1 of our demo drop is...
Vanished. Yeah, congratulations Vanished. This was a really solid progressive demo. There wasn't much critique that we could give to you because we felt that it was generally a really good demo. So drop your name in the comment below or DM us on Instagram and we'll arrange that 30-minute Skype session. We can't wait.
Okay, so that's all for this week, guys. Really hope you enjoyed this episode. As we said, we're going to be doing more of them, so don't worry if we didn't see a demo this time. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe, leave a comment below.
And if you haven't checked out our last video, I'm going to drop it right there for you guys. Make sure you check it out. We walked through 7 mistakes that we made when we first started producing. We feel like there's a lot of value in there. And take care. See you next time. Peace out.